Donald Trump turning himself into Georgia authorities last night. The former president, who faces 13 felony charges there, being processed like anyone else with a mugshot, one that's already been plastered everywhere. He's used his indictments and this opportunity where he surrendered during primetime cable news hours. So every news network, including this one, covered it, where he takes a historic mugshot, using it as a political boost.
We did nothing wrong at all, and we have every right, every single right, to challenge an election that we think is dishonest.
Former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, as well as his other attorneys, Jenna Ellis and Sidney Powell, among others, booked with mugshots. After Giuliani's release, he also tried to make it political in a hectic scene outside the sheriff's office.
This indictment is a travesty. It's an attack on not just me, not just President Trump, not just the people in this indictment, some of whom I don't even know. This is an attack on the American people. This can happen to me, who is probably the most prolific prosecutor, maybe in American history, and the most effective mayor for sure. It can happen to you.
No sense of humble there. Now, it can happen to you has become a familiar refrain from Donald Trump to his supporters. And Trump's legal woes have given him a boost in the polls in the past. And I wonder whether his arrest, the mugshots of the others, will only further help the Trump campaign, both in the primary and maybe even in a general election. Joining me now, Ellis Hennigan. He's been a columnist at Newsday for over 20 years. He's a New York Times bestselling author, Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist, also a syndicated radio host. Hannah Cox, president and co-founder of Based Politics. She's also co-hosts the Based Politics podcast. She works as a consultant for the libertarian conservative political advocacy group Americans for Prosperity. And Jesse Weber, an attorney and anchor for the Law and Crime Network. He's also a NewsNation legal contributor. Thanks to all of you. Appreciate it. All right, Ellis, what do you make of this?
No, it can't happen to you. Unless you try to steal a presidential election from the American people.
I think
it will not happen to you.
I think it's fair to say that. But don't you think there is a real possibility that the indictments, the continuing discussion of it, the mugshots, all of it can actually help Donald Trump?
You know, I think it depends on who your audience is. It is catnip for the cultists. I mean, people who are already inclined to believe him. It's just further proof of how aggrieved he is. But I don't think it does anything with the people in the middle and the suburban swing voters and the people that he actually needs to win an election in November.
I'm not so sure.
I disagree with that.
I don't see the evidence.
I disagree with that. I've spoken to people who are not so much in politics, not diehard Trump supporters, and they go, another one? 4 indictments in the course of 6 months? And these aren't people who are reading the text of these indictments and trying to understand the charges. They're just looking at it and saying it looks like overkill. And so people are going to look at this, voters are going to look at this and say they're not studying the complexity of the case and whether or not he's going to be found guilty. They just think it's being used as a political weapon and that this is anybody trying to make sure that Donald Trump doesn't succeed to the presidency in 2024.
See, I don't know about the political weapon piece, Hannah. I don't think independents are going to say this is being used, but I do think there is something to the overkill aspect. I do think there's something to the mugshots, et cetera, that actually could help Donald Trump amongst independents.
I think it definitely riles up his base, and it does look corrupt to the average rank-and-file American. Does that make them want to go vote for him? I don't think it goes that far. I think most people are tired of the shenanigans. They're embarrassed by this for our country. They want normal leaders. They want people who have some respectability to them again. So I think as an independent myself, I think that many of the charges against him in other cases, not Georgia, are kind of,
well, the New York case we can put aside, right? I think that just about maybe everyone except for Ellis.
No, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. No, but listen, it seems to me there is a little bit of a Rorschach test piece to this, right? I mean, we look at this and we see in it what we want to see in it. But I don't know. Don't go commit a bunch of crimes all over the world.
Here's the thing. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.